Hidden inside wardrobe bags were 2 sawn-off shotguns, a pistol capable of firing live rounds, and ammunition ready to be used, but that wasn't all. Stuffed into a JD sports bag in the same room was £11,000 worth of high-purity cocaine. The man inside the house was Rocky Hoban, a 42-year-old who prosecutors later described as a trusted lieutenant in a drug and gun operation. He even posed for pictures holding the weapons like trophies. Today, Hoban is serving 10 years in prison. This is the story of how one raid revealed the dangerous mix of firearms and Class A drugs in Leeds, and how police took a proud gun-toting dealer off the streets. Before we break it all down, make sure you subscribe. We cover real UK true crime cases every week, from drug busts to firearm raids, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. November 7th, 2022. Leeds District Programme Precision Team, a specialist police unit targeting serious organised crime, executed a search warrant at Broadlea Mount in Bramley. Inside the home was 42-year-old Rocky Hoban and his 13-year-old son. Officers began a full search of the property, unaware that they were about to stumble on an arsenal. In an upstairs bedroom, detectives opened a wardrobe. Inside a Matalan bag, they found 2 sawn-off shotguns, a black pistol, adapted from a blank firing handgun into a weapon capable of discharging live ammunition, 15 rounds of modified 8mm ammunition, dozens of shotgun cartridges, some of them tampered with, steel ball bearings used to modify ammunition. This wasn't a hobbyist collection, this was the toolkit of organised crime. But it didn't stop there. Also in the wardrobe was a JD sports bag. Inside were 4 clear bags of white powder, 110 grams of cocaine. Laboratory tests showed a purity of 91%. On the streets, cut and sold, it was worth around £11,000. Police also seized Hoban's phone. On it, they found photographs of him proudly holding the firearms, posing in kitchens with shotguns as if showing off trophies. It was clear, Hoban wasn't just storing these items for himself, he was safeguarding them for criminal associates. In court, the prosecution laid out the seriousness. The shotguns were fully working. The pistol, though slightly damaged, would have been functional if repaired. 32 cartridges were recovered, all capable of being fired. Hoban's DNA was found on the very bag that contained the guns. Prosecutor James Lake told Leeds Crown Court, "The only sensible conclusion is that Mr. Hoban was entrusted to look after firearms and ammunition on behalf of others. The guns and the drugs are part and parcel of the same criminal trade. The cocaine, at 91% purity, wasn't meant for personal use. That level of purity is typically held by those high up in supply chains, then cut down to street level to maximize profit. Hoban wasn't a kingpin, but he was what Judge Robin Mayers later called a trusted lieutenant. And the photos mattered. Hoban wasn't reluctantly storing the weapons. He was reveling in them, posing for the camera, with deadly firearms in hand. At sentencing, Judge Mayers didn't hold back. The only common sense inference that can be drawn, he said, is that you were a trusted lieutenant in a drug dealing operation. The firearms are linked to the drugs. They are part and parcel of the trade in Class A substances. The photographs of you posing with the guns are something you reveled in and were proud of." He reminded the court, "Guns kill, they maim, they terrorize and intimidate. That is why criminals use and want them." Hoban's defense, led by Adrian Pollard, tried to show another side. He argued Hoban wasn't living a life of luxury. He was in debt, living in a rented property, and even pawned his wedding ring before being remanded. His lawyer said, "That suggests he wasn't profiting like a drug boss. This was a man struggling, not living off criminal wealth." Pollard added, "He accepts everything is his fault and does not pass blame to anybody else." But Hoban's past made things worse. He already had convictions for possession with intent to supply Class A drugs, for criminal damage, and for driving over the limit. Judge Mars wasn't convinced by the hard-up man defense. Hoban had positioned himself as reliable muscle in a criminal chain. Trusted with both guns and cocaine, he played a role bigger than just personal debt. The sentence, 6 years for the firearms offences, 4 years for the drugs, served consecutively, 10 years total. Detective Inspector Michael Herbert, who heads the Leeds District Programme Precision Team, praised the outcome. These deadly weapons have no place in the hands of criminals. The firearms and ammunition recovered had the potential to kill or cause serious injury. Taking them off the streets makes our communities safer. He added, "This significant sentence sends a clear message to those involved in the organised supply of drugs and the firearms offences so often associated with this criminal trade." The case highlights how guns and drugs often go hand in hand. Cocaine supply isn't just about money. It's enforced by fear, and firearms are the tools of intimidation. By taking Hoban down, police remove both drugs and weapons from circulation. And this wasn't just one raid. Leeds, like many UK cities, has faced a rise in organised crime groups arming themselves with sawn-off shotguns and converted pistols. Operation Precision was designed to break that link, hitting gangs at the point where drugs and guns overlap. The story of Rocky Hoban is a cautionary tale. On the surface, he wasn't a kingpin, but he became a vital link in a dangerous supply chain. Trusted to guard drugs worth thousands and firearms capable of terror. The judge's words cut to the truth. Guns exist in this world because they intimidate, they threaten, and they kill. And Hoban wasn't just holding them reluctantly. He posed with them. He celebrated them. For his son, just 13 years old and present during the raid, the fallout will be lasting. A father sent to prison for a decade, a family facing eviction, and a reminder of how the cycle of drugs and guns devastates not just communities, but homes. That's the case of Rocky Hoban, the Leeds man caught with cocaine in a JD sports bag and sawn-off shotguns in his wardrobe. A trusted lieutenant who revelled in his role, but is now serving 10 years behind bars. If you found this breakdown gripping, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to dive deeper, check out our video on the Tameside raid, where police uncovered a pistol and £20,000 worth of drugs in a BMW boot. It shows just how common these dangerous overlaps between drugs and guns are becoming across the UK. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.